but it's milk chocolate all the way. Milk chocolate. That's right.
Brock's, I don't think they make them anymore. Brock's chocolate stars in bulk.
Oh, they do.
Right. So, you've been on an iconic show that's spanned the past over 50 years. You guys have become not just a blended family on screen, but also it seems like you're very close as well. First question I have is, what do you think made the Brady Bunch such an endearing show, such an iconic show for over several decades? Why is it still so popular today?
People are psychic. People are a lot more psychic than they're ever given credit for, and they know what's real and they know what's fake. And they knew that the love on the show was real.
Christopher, question for you. How did you handle fame while growing up in the public eye during your teenage years? And then I guess you could say years from now, reflecting back, what have you seen now in return 50-something years later? Like, what have you seen that's why the show is so popular?
Those are wildly different questions.
Yep, I know.
Fame is a tricky thing because everybody's got to handle it individually. It's a very personal thing. So I think we stumble through because there's no class on how to deal with, being that popular. But I did learn a lesson that I don't know where I learned it from, but something about feet of clay, and that if anybody puts you on a pedestal, get down from it. Because at some point in the future, you're surely going to fall off of it if you stay. And I think it's true. And I think that you really can't take yourself that seriously. And if somebody cares to worship you, that's nice, but don't accept it as worship. And be humble. And as humble as you can be. And I think at that point, then you become the same as the person who is your fan, which makes you equal. And that's, I believe, where you should end up.
I'm just glad that every man, woman, and child didn't have a high-def video camera in their pocket when I was living my childhood in my early 20s, because, that would have ruined my life. So it's bad enough now that they do, right? I can make a fool of myself plenty easy. How old am I?
I heard stories, Mike. I had friends that went to the same university that Mike was going to at the same time.
What are they?
I'd get reports.
At the University of Utah. Yeah, I made quite a splash at the U. What are the chances, though, that 6 out of 6 child actors in a 1970s hit TV show all make it to the next millennium and are pretty much okay, decent people?
Very
6%.
good.
6%.
Very true. Very true. Next question is for all of you, but I'm going to begin with Barry. Barry, was it ever a challenge to juggle your own identity with your characters, especially when fans expected you to act a certain way off camera when you're not being a Brady? It seems to say that over the years, you have definitely still embraced the Brady character. Would you say that it was difficult to juggle both your identity and Greg's identity?
It was impossible to juggle the two identities, so I just combined them. And the truth is, there's not that much difference. I mean, what you see with Greg was a guy that had younger brothers and sisters. I mean, I feel like this is my family. You see somebody who's trying to make things work, trying to explore life, trying to go on, trying to be a good person, trying to use exact words whenever I could. And by the way, I never once played ball in the house. I never once threw a football in my sister's nose. Trouble over here.
I never lost to my sister in a driving contest.
No affairs.
That was so fake. That was so fake. I never would have lost if the script didn't say so.
What about the goats, Barry?
Raquel? You're gonna ditch Raquel?
I was just jealous.
So I think there's a nice blending of who the character is and who I am, and I get to make and meet a lot of people that I like a great deal and make friends with. I want to go back to a question you asked about how could you believe that the show would still be successful. I will tell you, honestly, it's because of collectively you being here today, you caring about us, you asking for pictures over there, having us sign them, having us take them. And I know that because I ask people, what did you like about the Brady Bunch? And they will tell me invariably, well, I like that you all got along. I love that your parents believed you and would try and work with you. I love that there was communication. I love that you guys shared a chemistry and we really thought you were a family. And those are the qualities of the show. And these are the qualities that our fans, our viewers, our public, the people that have enjoyed our show watched, and they understand and they get, and that's what we were trying to do.
Chris, same question about juggling your own identity as a teenager and also becoming Peter Brady on the show, and how that mix outside of off camera.
It was the same. I mean, there was no difference between Peter and Chris, and so, I mean, both were looking for themselves. That's funny.
How many times did anyone shout out pork chops and applesauce to you on a daily basis?
And counting?
You might as well do it now.
Pork chops and applesauce.
There you go.
Pork chops and applesauce. Yeah, can't do it as well as I once did. More Jack Nicholson-esque now. But, yeah, because there's that. I mean, who else has a pork chop phenomenon in their life? As a matter of fact, I have a production company. I named it Pork Chop Phenomenon Inc. Because, you know, that's mine. And who would have known?
Mike, same question to you.
I was lucky in that the character, the role of Bobby, just meant me coming to work every day and just being a kid. You know, Bobby did some goofy things for the gag, for the comedy, you know, for the sitcom sketch effect. Bobby did some things that Mike Lookinland probably wouldn't have done, you know, at least not in public. And, you know, just not cool. Whereas, you know, Barry was cool when he was born, right? Anyway, Bobby did some things that maybe Mike Lookinland didn't think were cool, but I got off easy because I was a kid going to work every day, just being a happy-go-lucky kid, and on and off camera. So, you know, that was it made life easy for me.
Thank you. And Susan, being another, yeah, give it up. Susan, same question, being the other youngest Brady. How did it feel in terms of being off camera, your personalities, your identity? Were you able to have a quote-unquote normal childhood outside of being a Brady?
I fought hard to have a normal childhood. This is not a popular thing to say, and I want to cushion it, but I didn't like Cindy. I did not like the character. I thought she was an idiot. I thought she was a tattletale, which is like so uncool. I wanted the world to know that I wasn't her, but I wasn't the opposite of her either. The problem for me was I would go to school. We all went to regular public school when we weren't working. And I would get teased a lot for the dumb stuff Cindy did while she was in my body on TV. Things that I would never do, like tattletale. So, I mean, it wasn't that I was playing a monumentally different character than myself, but it was just uncool enough that I was like, oh no, what do I have to say this week? But it's fine with me.
Well, speaking about Cindy, you can't talk about Cindy without talking about her iconic lisp.
Yes, that was real.
We're going to talk about real and what's fake, but that was real. Were you ever self-conscious about it?
Totally.
And how did
when
you-
they made the episode, oh, thank you. Now I can go to school and everybody has more ammo to tease me with. Thank you. I actually went to a special S clinic. When I was 19, I was going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I really only went to the S clinic because there was a cute guy going to the clinic as well. But my teacher, Rocco Dalvera, got my lisp to the point where he said, you know, it's really as good as it's going to get. You have a very small mouth. I had braces, I had teeth pulled, I have a small mouth. And, but what was funny to me was, so he got it as good as it could get. And when I was little, I couldn't hear it unless I watched the show, and then I'd start crying. Go, I thought I didn't lisp anymore, and I just watch TV and I'm lisping. But it was, you know, sometimes you just know there's a God because he's messing with you and he's showing you stuff. And I went on an audition. And they said, you know, sorry, this is on videotape. We can't hire you because you're lisp. You still lisp. I'm like, well, I'm doing as best as I can. The very next week, I went on an audition. They said, you're totally wrong for the part. But I've got to ask you, how did you get over that lisp? Your speech is so clear. So go figure. You know, I can hear it. You know, I've done a lot of radio and podcasts and stuff, and I always have my headphones to the side because to me, every time I say an S, it sounds like cymbals crashing. So I'm still a little self-conscious about it.
Just a little.
So continuing with Mike and Susan, you guys were the youngest on the show. How did the other cast members treat you? Would they treat you the youngest, the little sister, a little brother? Did you look up to the older cast members as role models?
I remember very, very well a moment with Barry where we were playing in the abandoned commissary on the Paramount Walk. And we were playing in the meat lockers and various different places where we shouldn't have been. And there was a ladder to go up. And I was hesitant. And Barry took me aside, because Barry didn't have younger siblings at home. And he took a very big brotherly role and said, hey, Susan, come here. If you're not comfortable with this, you don't have to do it. Which was so completely unlike my brother at home, which would have said, come on, let's scare the crap out of Susan. So that was very, very nice, and he took on the role of big brother.
Did he lock you in the meat locker there?
We locked
I would've.
we locked Florence Henderson's daughter in the meat locker and kind of forgot about her.
Yeah, we got in trouble.
Yeah, we got in big trouble for that.
Yeah. There was definitely a family dynamic then, much as there is now. And I'm the little brother, and I tried to be, I could be in Chris's world a little, but I wasn't anywhere near, Barry was way out of my league, you know? It was very much a matter, like you said, of little brother and big brothers. And I looked up to them mainly because they brutally made fun of Maureen McCormick. Like, you know, teenage Maureen.
You said they.
You two guys.
Well, what about you?
I joined
you
in.
joined in. And
Oh yeah, no, I just tagged along with wide eyes saying, oh, so that's how you do it. You know, there was Maureen got some teasing, and I enjoyed